Hello students, I am Dr. Krishnada Parveen. Today I am going to discuss about basal ganglia. Basal ganglia. What is basal ganglia? Basal ganglia are the group of nuclei lie deep within the cerebral hemisphere. At the base of the cerebral hemisphere, that's why it is known as basal ganglia. Basic classifications of the basal ganglia are lenticular nucleus, which is made up of two nucleus. Again, it is made up of two nucleus, globus pallidus and putamen. Second one is caudate nucleus. Third one is amygdaloid body. Fourth one is claustrum. See here. This is lenticular nucleus. This lie laterally. L for L. You can remember. This C-shaped curved grey matter is known as caudate nucleus. At the tail of caudate nucleus, there is another nucleus known as amygdaloid body. See in this diagram, here is caudate nucleus and here is the amygdaloid body. Here at the level of the uncus, and amygdaloid body is the small nucleus which is related with the limbic system. This part is lenticular nucleus. See here, it is lenticular nucleus. Most medial part is thalamus. It lies at the level of the thalamus. See, this is the diagram of horizontal section of the cerebrum. You can identify all pictures here. This is head of the nucleus. This is thalamus. Here is internal capsule as I described in previous class. This is lenticular nucleus. The outer is putamen and middle is the globus pallidus. The both called putamen and globus pallidus is known as lenticular nucleus. Lateral to the lenticular nucleus, there is a white matter known as external capsule. Lateral to the external capsule, here is again a grey matter. This grey matter is claustrum. This is fourth one of the basal ganglia. This claustrum is related with the limbic system, so it is not described again here. For lateral to the claustrum, there is another white matter known as extreme capsule. Lateral to extreme capsule, here is insula. Here is the lateral sulcus. What are the functions of the basal ganglia? Basal ganglia, basically, it controls the movement of the body. It controls the planned movement of the body. Planning and modulation of the movement pathway, control of movement and learning. It coordinates motivation with the body movement. Specifically, the basal ganglia inhibits individual behavior in a complex social interaction, also inhibits small voluntary movement. In basal ganglia, all nerve fibers are basically inhibitory. It releases GABA, gamma aminobutyric acid, which is an inhibitory neurotransmitter. This is also known as extrapyramidal system to distinguish its function from pyramidal system. With pyramidal system means corticospinal and corticonuclear fibers, which cause the movement here contraction of muscles. The fibers of the basal ganglia are known as extrapyramidal system. As a result of embryonic development of hemisphere, the cortical lobes are arranged in shape from frontal lobe to parietal, occipital and temporal lobe in a C-shaped manner. See here, this is C-shaped manner. Similarly, a number of other structures also develop in C-shaped fashion. This is the lateral ventricle, which is is in C-shaped form. See here, this is anterior horn, this is body, this is inferior horn, and this is posterior horn. Okay. So any section through the cerebral hemisphere cut this structure in two different places. And another one which is in C-shaped fashion is hippocampus, and this is fornix. Third one is the caudate nucleus, which is in C-shaped form. Caudate nucleus having a head, then body and tail. At the tip of tail there is a amygdaloid body. Fourth, which is in C-shaped fashion, is uncus, parahippocampal gyrus and cingulate gyrus. Okay. Caudate nucleus. The caudate nucleus is another example of C-shaped structure. Has an enlarged head deep in the frontal lobe and it increasingly attenuated body and tail follow the lateral ventricle around the temporal lobe. It follow the lateral ventricle around the temporal lobe. Here is the head, here is the body, and here is the tail. At tip of tail there is another body known as amygdaloid body. The lenticular nucleus, which is subdivided into putamen and globus pallidus, lie lateral and partial anterior to the thalamus. Here is the thalamus. It lies lateral and partially anterior to the thalamus, which is separated from the thalamus and from much of the head of the caudate nucleus by a thick sheet of the fiber called as internal capsule. As you all are acquainted with this, in this gap there is the fibers of the cerebral hemisphere projected known as internal capsule. Now another classification of basal nuclei is known as functional classification. It includes some other nucleus which is related functionally with the basal nuclei. The term basal nuclei are slowly replacing more traditional terminology basal ganglia. Basal ganglia is a misnomer. The mass of grey matter inside CNS should be known as nuclei. Both terms are appropriate and both are commonly used. The meaning of term basal nuclei has evolved over time, but it is now used to refer to those structures whose damage cause distinctive kind of the movement disorder. I discuss the movement disorder later on in this video. These structures include some large subcortical nuclei of each cerebral hemisphere along with the lower nucleus in diencephalon and midbrain. This is putamen, caudate nucleus, nucleus accumbens, globus pallidus. These are the basal nuclei. I detailed all these about what are nucleus accumbens and putamen and caudate nucleus. Together with diencephalic nucleus known as subthalamic nucleus and substantia nigra of the midbrain. If you recall, I discussed in midbrain there is from ventral to dorsal side cerebral crus cerebri, then dark stained grey matter known as substantia nigra, and then tegmentum, then tectum. Various names are applied to different combination of members of basal nuclei. The putamen, caudate nucleus and nucleus accumbens. Why it is known as nucleus accumbens? Named historically for its physical location, its original name was nucleus accumbens septi, that is nucleus leaning against the septum pellucidum. Okay, that's why it is known as nucleus accumbens, leaning nucleus. The putamen, the caudate nucleus and nucleus accumbens have common embryological origin, identical histological appearance and similar connections. Having identical common embryological origin, identical histological appearance and having similar connections. All three, putamen, caudate nucleus and nucleus accumbens, having similar connections. One indication for this common origin, their physical continuity just above the orbital surface of the frontal lobe. That is, the putamen, the caudate, anterior part of the putamen and head of caudate nucleus and nucleus accumbens all fuse together in the orbital part of the frontal lobe, where merges with the nucleus accumbens, which in turn merges with the anterior part of the putamen. The nucleus accumbens part is known as ventral striatum because it lies ventral to the putamen. This nucleus accumbens is related with the limbic system. Another indication is the bridging of grey matter that crosses the internal capsule between the putamen and caudate nucleus. See, this is the bridging of the grey matter between putamen and caudate nucleus. It gives appearance of common origin. From here, internal capsule passes, giving this region stripped appearance in many planes of the section. Because of this appearance, putamen and caudate nucleus and nucleus accumbens are known as striatum. Nucleus accumbens here, see here, nucleus accumbens merges here. This part is known as ventral striatum. To distinguish it, the other part is known as dorsal striatum. The caudate nucleus and putamen are together known as striatum. The putamen and globus pallidus have different connections. Putamen and globus pallidus both are known as lenticular nucleus. This is outer part is external, lateral part is putamen, and this is globus pallidus. This both part is collectively known as lenticular nucleus, but having different connection. These are embryologically different structures, but physically they are lie together, opposed together. They are referred to as lenticular or lentiform nucleus because lenti means, it is a Latin word, means lentil, masur, masur ka dana. It is biconvex in shape. The caudate nucleus and lenticular nucleus, that is caudate nucleus, putamen and globus pallidus with intervening internal capsule, all these structures are known as corpus striatum. This giving striated appearance due to the interconnecting grey matter with white matter of internal capsule give it this basal ganglia a stripped appearance. That's why these three parts is as a whole known as corpus striatum. Corpus means body, striatum means striated or stripped body. See, in classification of basal ganglia, here is striatum, this is caudate nucleus, nucleus accumbens and putamen. These three structures are known as striatum. This putamen and globus pallidus both together is known as lenticular nucleus. Any confusion? The putamen and globus pallidus lie together as a biconvex lens is known as lenticular nucleus. Globus pallidus is again divided into external segment that is lie laterally and internal segment that is lie medially. These three structures, caudate nucleus, nucleus accumbens, putamen and globus pallidus, this part is known as corpus striatum. The two other nucleus which is functionally related with this basal ganglia are subthalamic nucleus and substantia nigra. Substantia nigra again having two parts, compact part and reticular part. This part is known as substantia nigra compacta. This is known as substantia nigra reticularis. I am trying to describe again basal ganglia having corpus striatum. This is basic classification, this is functional classification. Having corpus striatum and amygdala. Again amygdala plus colostrum. Corpus striatum is divided into striatum and This is globus pallidus. This striatum is caudate nucleus and putamen is also known as neostriatum. The globus pallidus is known as paliostriatum. See here, neostriatum having caudate nucleus and putamen, and paliostriatum is globus pallidus. Putamen and globus pallidus is known as lenticular nucleus. These are terms. Okay. Lenticular nucleus is shaped somewhat like a wedge cut from a sphere, that is biconvex lens. The putamen, from the Latin for the husk. What is the meaning of putamen? Putamen means husk. It is husk of the lentil, which is lie externally, which is approximately coextensive with the insula. See in this diagram, this part is known as, this is putamen and this is globus pallidus. Here is globus pallidus, here is the putamen. This is the head of the caudate nucleus which is connected with the putamen. Putamen form the outermost portion of this wedge. It is separated from the more medial globus pallidus by a thin lateral medullary lamina. This is the section of the brain in which white matter is stained by myelin staining. So white matter looks black. Here is you see between the putamen and globus pallidus there is a black structure. This is known as lateral medullary lamina. Globus pallidus, see this is globus pallidus. This is again divided by a white matter known as medial medullary lamina into external part or lateral part and internal part or medial part. Globus pallidus is divided by medial medullary lamina into lateral part and medial part. In unstained section through the lenticular nucleus, the globus pallidus is distinctively pale in appearance. That's why its name is given pallidus. Because large number of myelinated fibers that originated from it or traverse it. Here, large number of myelinated fibers emerge from it or traverse it. So, this gives pale appearance on the section, unstained section. That's why it is known as, in stained section it look dark because of the myelinated nerve, majority of the myelinated nerve fibers in this gray matter. Okay. See, putamen is light in color, this is dark in color. Caudate nucleus. It is found in the wall of the lateral ventricle, as I shown you in 3D video, and grow with it in a C-shaped course during development. The result of that caudate nucleus, Latin for the nucleus with tail. Caudate means a nucleus with tail. Wind up with an enlarged head that bulges into the anterior horn, a body into the lateral horn, into the lateral wall of the body of the ventricle, and a slender tail that borders into the inferior horn. See, this is lateral ventricle and green one is the caudate nucleus. See here, head lie in the floor of the anterior horn, body in the body of the floor of the body of the ventricle, and tail wind round along the inferior horn. It forms the roof of the inferior horn. Any confusion? This two structure form the floor of the part of the ventricle and this tail is forming the roof of the inferior horn. Tail of the caudate continuous with the, I told you earlier, tail of the caudate nucleus is continuous with the another nucleus known as amygdaloid body, which is term is continuous with the, and head of the caudate nucleus is continuous with the putamen. You can see in this diagram also. Here is the head of the caudate nucleus. This is body of the caudate nucleus, and this is tail of the caudate nucleus. At the tail of caudate nucleus, another nucleus is lying. This is known as amygdaloid nucleus. You can see in this diagram, here is the head of the caudate nucleus. Here is connecting fibers to the putamen. This part is known as putamen. Here is globus pallidus. Between putamen and globus pallidus lie lateral medullary lamina, a sheet of white matter. Globus pallidus is again divided into lateral and medial part, a sheet of the white lamina known as medial medullary lamina, into external part or internal part. Outside the putamen, there is a white matter, black appearance in this section due to the myelin staining. It is known as external capsule. Here is again grey matter. This is colostrum. External to the grey matter is external extreme capsule. Then here is the insula. Okay. Now come to the subthalamic nucleus. Subthalamic nucleus is shaped like a biconvex lens enveloped in white matter, is located between the medial part of the cerebral peduncle and the thalamus. It lies below the thalamus, just above the cerebral peduncle. Cerebral peduncle of the midbrain. That is at the junction of midbrain and thalamus. It lies between the cerebral peduncle and the thalamus. Although relatively small, it is major interconnection with other part of the basal ganglia. See, here is the subthalamic nucleus. This is thalamus. Here is subthalamic nucleus. It is a biconvex in shape, and here is the midbrain. It is substantia nigra portion. This portion is the crus cerebri. Here is the substantia nigra. Okay. Here is subthalamus. See close approximation between the substantia nigra and subthalamus and basal nuclei. Okay. Here is the head of the caudate nucleus. This is internal capsule. This black structure you see here, this section is myelin stain, so white matter appears black. Substantia nigra actually having, I told you earlier, it having two parts. Dorsal part is known as pars compacta, containing closely packed pigmented neurons, and ventral one is pars reticulata, nearer to the cerebral peduncle, that contain more loosely packed neurons, most of which are non-pigmented. These correspond to two distinctive different pathways in which substantia nigra participate in circuitry of the basal nuclei. The compact part provide widespread modulatory dopaminergic fibers to the other part of the basal nuclei, whereas reticular part is basically known as, its function is basically as globus pallidus externus. It is basically as globus pallidus externus. See, this is the section of midbrain. Here is the substantia nigra. Dorsal one is pars compacta, ventral one is pars reticularis. Here is crus cerebri. See, this is substantia nigra. Here is the red nucleus. Okay, these nucleus are functionally known as basal nuclei. What are the nucleus? Caudate nucleus, putamen, globus pallidus, subthalamic nucleus, and substantia nigra. 5 nucleus are related functionally, so these 5 nucleus are known as basal nuclei. How it functions? The basal ganglion perform most of its function through 3 major circuits: putamen circuit, caudate circuit, and ventral striatal circuit. The ventral striatal circuit is related with the limbic system, associated with behavior and emotions. The ventral striatal circuit connected with the hippocampus and cingulate gyrus. Putamen circuit execute motor pattern of action. Putamen, the circuit, the nerve fibers connecting putamens execute motor pattern of action, and caudate circuit help in cognitive control of sequence of motor pattern. Caudate circuit plan the control of sequence of motor pattern. Putamen circuit. Now I am going to discuss about putamen circuit. Mostly involved in execution of learned pattern of motor movement. That's, for example, writing letters of alphabet, cutting papers with scissors, hammering nails, putting basketball in the ring, and some aspect of vocalizations. Putamen circuit, what are going to do? It involved in the execution of learned pattern of movement. Learned pattern, such as writing alphabets, and we learn to write alphabets. The putamen circuit involved in learning of the writing of alphabets. Okay. How putamen circuit, from where it begins and where it ends? They begin in the premotor and supplementary area of the motor cortex. Where is motor cortex? In the precentral gyrus and somatosensory area of the sensory cortex. कहाँ से begin करता है? They begin from premotor and supplementary area of the motor cortex and sensory cortex. Next they passes to the putamen. Doesn't pass to the caudate nucleus. Then internal portion of the globus pallidus. It passed to the internal portion of the globus pallidus. Next to ventroanterior and ventrolateral relay nuclei of the thalamus, and finally return to the cerebral primary motor cortex and to the portion of premotor and supplementary cerebral closely associated with primary motor cortex. Primary motor cortex give impulse to the corticonuclear and corticospinal fibers, and concerned muscle contract to execute the function. Okay. Once we plan to take action, suppose we plan to write letter A. The cerebral cortex send impulse prior to the execution of function to the putamen. From putamen, it passes to the globus pallidus internus, middle part of the globus pallidus, from where it passes to the thalamus. Thalamus is the middle nucleus through which the cerebral cortex is connected with the basal nuclei. The thalamus sends fibers to the motor cortex to execute the function. See in this diagram. Here is the basal nuclei, and here is the thalamus. See, this is thalamus and this is basal nuclei. Here is the cortex. See, from the association area and prefrontal cortex, the impulse passes to the putamen. From putamen, it passes to the globus pallidus internus, not externus. It directly passes to the globus pallidus internus. From globus pallidus internus to the ventral, lateral and ventroanterior part of the thalamus. This thalamus send impulse to the motor cortex to excite the corticospinal and corticonuclear fibers, which execute the function. Okay. See here, it impulse passing from the association area, motor and sensory association area and prefrontal cortex to the putamen. From putamen, it passes to the globus pallidus externus, then internus, directly to the internus, then internus goes to the thalamus, thalamus goes to the motor cortex. These are the circuit known as putamen circuit. Functioning in close association with primary putamen circuit are ancillary circuit that passes from putamen through the external globus pallidus and subthalamic nucleus and substantia nigra and passes finally returning to the motor cortex by way of the thalamus. Thalamus is the middle way through which the fiber passes to the cortex. By another, see here, another fibers, one fiber passes from putamen to the globus pallidus internus and then to the thalamus, then to the cortex. This path is known as direct path. One another pathway which involves some other nuclei known as indirect path. Okay, see these fibers from the putamen, from the cerebral cortex, that is association area and prefrontal cortex, passes to the putamen, from putamen to the globus pallidus externus. From globus pallidus externus, the fibers pass to the thalamus, subthalamic nuclei. Globus pallidus internus passes to the thalamus. Globus pallidus externus passes to the subthalamic nuclei. Here is the subthalamic nuclei. From subthalamic nuclei, it passes to the globus pallidus externus. See here, it passes to the globus pallidus externus, and from globus pallidus externus, it passes to the globus pallidus internus, then thalamus, then cortex. From subthalamic nuclei, fiber passes to the thalamus directly, or from globus pallidus externus, it passes to the subthalamic nucleus. From subthalamic nucleus, it passes to the putamen, and from putamen, it passes to the globus pallidus internus, from where it passes to the thalamus and then to the, okay. In indirect pathway, globus pallidus externus involved and subthalamic nucleus involved. From globus pallidus externus passes to the subthalamic nucleus, and from subthalamic nucleus it passes to the putamen, and from putamen again passes to the globus pallidus internus and then thalamus. Okay, that's why this pathway is known as indirect pathway. Indirect pathway. In indirect pathway, fiber from putamen pass to the globus pallidus externus. From globus pallidus externus, it passes to the subthalamic nucleus, and from subthalamic nucleus, it again passes to the putamen. From putamen, fiber passes to the globus pallidus internus and to the thalamus and to the cortex. Okay. Basal ganglia nuclei in our brain. What function they did? Made movement by direct pathway. Direct pathway means from cerebral cortex to putamen to globus pallidus internus to thalamus and then to the cerebral cortex. It made movement. Don't make unwanted movement by the indirect pathway. Indirect pathway is the inhibitory of the movements, so which is not wanted. अनवांटेड मूवमेंट को इनहिबिट करता है इनडायरेक्ट पाथवे. व्हाट इज इनडायरेक्ट पाथवे? फ्रॉम सेरिब्रल कॉर्टेक्स टू पुटामेन टू ग्लोबस पैलिडस एक्सटर्नस, then to the subthalamic nucleus. From subthalamic nucleus, fibers again come to the putamen, from putamen to the globus pallidus internus and to the thalamus and to the cerebral cortex. What direct pathway may form? Direct pathway made movement. Indirect pathway don't make unwanted movement. Okay. See. Here from the association cortex, the fibers come to the putamen, is passes to the thalamus to the cerebral cortex. So from the putamen to the globus pallidus internus, then to the thalamus and then to the cortex. All fiber from globus pallidus internus passes to the thalamus, known as pallidothalamic fibers. Indirect pathway Here is the indirect pathway. From putamen passes to the globus pallidus externus, then to the subthalamus. From subthalamus again to the putamen, then putamen to the globus pallidus internus, then thalamus, then cortex. Appropriate motor program. Competing motor program and appropriate motor program through corticonuclear and corticospinal fibers. Here is the alpha motor goes to the, this is corticospinal fiber which goes to the alpha motor neurons. Okay. See in this diagram, here is the cortex. From cortex, fiber passes to the caudate or putamen. I will discuss you later on what is caudate circuit. It passes to the putamen. From putamen to the globus pallidus internus. From globus pallidus internus to the thalamus. From thalamus to the cortex. This pathway is known as direct pathway. Another pathway is from cortex to putamen, putamen to globus pallidus externus. From globus pallidus externus is passes to the, from globus pallidus externus here, it passes to the subthalamic nucleus. From subthalamic nucleus, fiber passes to the globus pallidus internus or putamen, and then globus, see, from cortex to putamen to globus pallidus externus. Then from globus pallidus externus is passes to the subthalamic nucleus, and from subthalamic nucleus to the internus and to the thalamus and to the cortex. This pathway is known as indirect pathway because it involves subthalamic nucleus. Okay. From the substantia nigra compacta, fiber passes to the putamen, both to the direct pathway and to the indirect pathway. Substantia nigra compacta having neurotransmitter known as dopamine. Here are two types of the receptors. In the direct pathway there is D1 receptors. Dopamine act as excitatory fibers, and in indirect pathway it is inhibitory. Dopamine is inhibitory. Here is D2 receptors. Come to the basically this basal ganglia having inhibitory fibers. What it form? What is cause? From cortex, there is excitatory fibers release glutamate. This glutamate causes excitation of these fibers, whether direct or indirect pathway. It causes excitation. These fibers are inhibitory. This release GABA. In direct pathway, GABA is released in the globus pallidus internus. This GABA causes inhibition of these nerve fibers, that is pallidothalamic fibers. Here GABA release, this inhibit these fibers. So inhibition of this thalamus decreases. This is basically inhibitory. It also releases GABA. Here if GABA released, this fiber inhibited, so no impulse passes to the cortex. So there is a circuit which causes this fiber to inhibit so that impulse passes from thalamus to the cortex. Basic function is that. How to inhibit this fiber? It basically inhibitor of thalamus. This internal pallidal to thalamus is inhibitory fibers. The circuit causes the inhibition or stoppage of these nerve fibers to release GABA in the thalamus. Basic function is that. How these nerve fibers inhibited is the circuit. Here is from cortex. Before planning, suppose we plan to take a cup of tea. Before we execute function, the impulse passes to the caudate or putamen nucleus through the cortex. It is excitatory. It excites the nerve in the putamen. These nerve fibers release GABA in internal capsule, globus pallidus internus. This GABA inhibit this nerve. So here is decreased inhibition and nerve impulse passes from the thalamus to the cortex. From indirect pathway, cortex release again glutamate, which is excitatory. In indirect pathway, here is this nerve is excited, release GABA in this externus. From GABA, this passes to this again is the GABAergic fibers. Here it passes to the subthalamus. This subthalamus having excitatory fibers. This excite, here is the excitatory fibers. This excite these nerve fibers, this GABAergic fiber. It excite from subthalamic nucleus. The nerve which passes to the internus is excitatory. This is inhibitory and this is excitatory. It excites these nerve fibers. So GABA increases here. It inhibits the thalamus, corticothalamic fibers. So this doesn't give impulse. So inhibits the unwanted movement. See, from cortex it passes to the, here excited the external, it released the GABA. This is again GABAergic neuron. It inhibits this GABAergic neuron. Here decrease GABA. This decrease GABA excite this nerve. It is excitatory. It excite globus pallidus internus. This excite this nerve which release GABA. This GABA inhibit this nerve. So movement cannot take place. So from direct pathway movement takes place. From indirect pathway movement doesn't take place. Okay. What is the function of this substantia nigra? This substantia nigra is, it kick start the circuitry. It kick start. Just like in motorcycle there is a kick start. So it kick start the direct and indirect pathway. If direct pathway excited, excitatory, so this fibers excited, it give, this fiber excited, it give GABA here, this GABA inhibit these neurons, this inhibitory neurons inhibited, so there is loss of inhibition to these fibers, the fiber give impulse to the cortex. This dopamine causes inhibition to these external fibers, this inhibitory to the external fibers, globus pallidus externus. This inhibits, here again inhibition, there is inhibition and these fibers excited. Okay, it is inhibitory and this is excited. See, there is direct fiber, direct pathway, here is indirect pathway. From cortex to the striatum, okay? From striatum to globus pallidus internus, it release GABA. GABA is negative effect to the thalamus. Thalamus give to the cortex positive effect. Substantia nigra dopamine, it is excitatory. Here substantia nigra, this is inhibitory. This function, here excitatory fiber, here is inhibitory fibers. It is the balance of these fibers which causes inhibition of unwanted movement. Inhibition of the unwanted. From globus pallidus caudate passes to the globus pallidus externus, then subthalamic nucleus. From subthalamic nucleus, excitatory fibers passes to the globus pallidus internus. This globus pallidus internus having GABA, this GABA increases from thalamus. This fibers doesn't give impulse to the cortex. In this pathway, in unwanted movement inhibited, from this pathway wanted movement executed. What are the disorders occur when lesion in the putamen circuit? When a portion of circuit is damaged or blocked, certain pattern of movement becomes severely abnormal. For example, unwanted movement increases, wanted movement decreases. For instance, lesion in the globus pallidus frequently lead to the spontaneous and often continuous writhing movement of the hand or arm or neck or face, known as athetosis. See, this type of the movement in the fingers is known as athetosis. A lesion in the subthalamus often leads to the sudden flailing of the half of the body known as hemibellismus. Subthalamus involvement of subthalamus lead to the increase in unwanted movement. These are the unwanted movement known as hemibellismus or athetosis. Multiple small lesions in the putamen leads to the flicking movement of the hand, face or other part of the body known as chorea. Only subthalamus involved, then hemibellismus, globus pallidus involved, then athetosis. If multiple parts is involved, then known as chorea. Chorea is the dancing pattern of the hand, arm, foot. Okay. The lesion of substantia nigra lead to the common and extensively severe disease of rigidity, akinesia and tremor known as Parkinson's disease. Now come to the caudate circuit. As I discuss all things, only caudate is involved, all other pathways are the same. Caudate circuit involved in the cognitive control of the sequence of motor pattern. Cognitive control means planning of the sequence of the motor pattern. Most of our motor action occur in a consequence of the thought generated in the mind. This is called cognitive control of motor activity. Consciousness of the thoughts generated in our mind, such if we want take a cup of tea, this planning is known as cognitive control of motor activity. Caudate nucleus play a major role of this cognitive control of the motor activity. Caudate circuit extend into all lobes of the caudate nucleus extend into all lobes of the cerebrum from frontal, parietal to temporal. Beginning anterior in the frontal lobe, they passes posteriorly to parietal and occipital lobe and finally curling towards the letter C into the temporal lobe. Caudate nucleus also receive large amount of its input from association area of the cerebral cortex overlaying the caudate nucleus, mainly area that are also integrate different part of sensory and motor information into usable thoughts pattern. It caudate nucleus receive input from all the lobes and also from the all lobes association areas of the cerebral cortex. Frontal association area, in the parietal lobe association area, in occipital lobe association area and temporal lobes association area. See, this is caudate circuit. Here is the caudate circuit. From association areas, it passes to the caudate. From the caudate, it passes to the putamen, then globus pallidus internus. From internus to the ventroanterior and ventrolateral nucleus to the, this is the prefrontal cortex. Okay. This is the prefrontal cortex. From globus pallidus internus directly, only globus pallidus internus is connected with the thalamus. After the signal passes from the cerebral cortex to the caudate nucleus, then next transmitted to the internal globus pallidus and then to relay nuclei to the ventroanterior and ventrolateral thalamus and finally back to the prefrontal, premotor and supplementary motor areas of the cerebral cortex. But almost none of returning signal passes directly to the primary motor cortex as in putamen circuit. Okay, the returning signal going to the accessory motor regions of the premotor and supplementary motor area are concerned with the putting together sequential pattern of movement lasting 5 or more seconds instead of exciting individual muscle movement. It gives sequential pattern of movement. For example, if you see a lion, the running away from lion and trying to climb on a tree, these are the sequential movement. If you see a lion, you run away from the lion and trying to climb on a tree, these sequence of movements are planned in caudate circuit. The putamen circuit gives individual muscles movement. This caudate circuit gives planning of the movement. Is it clear? The proportion of each part is same. This is the timing and scaling of the movement. See, proportion of each part increases with increase in the size of figure. Parkinson's disease. I am going to describe in detail of Parkinson's disease. In 1817, James Parkinson, an English country physician, published a brief monography entitled An Essay on the Shaking Palsy, in which described the symptoms of several individuals who had the disease that now bears his name, Parkinsonian patient. Parkinson's disease results from the widespread destruction of substantia nigra, that is pars compacta, that send dopamine secreting nerve fibers to the caudate and putamen. Okay, it is characterized by rigidity of much of the musculature, involuntary tremors. Recapsulize the function of substantia nigra. Substantia nigra give dopamine fiber to the direct pathway. It gives dopamine fibers to the indirect pathway. In direct pathway, dopamine is excitatory. In indirect pathway, dopamine is inhibitory. So, if destruction of dopaminergic fibers takes place, the direct pathway impulse to the direct pathway decreases and impulse to the indirect pathway increases. So, unwanted movement increases and wanted movement becomes slow. So, the disorders of the Parkinson disease having the features of these two pathways. There is rigidity of much of the musculature of the body. Rigidity of the much of the musculature of the body. Involuntary movement increases. Involuntary tremor involve area at the rest. Fixed rate is 3 to 6 cycles per second. Tremor occurring into 3 to 6 cycles per second. Serious difficulty in initiating movement known as akinesia or hypokinesia. I told you substantia nigra cause kick start of the direct pathway. If kick start decreases, then initiating of the movement decreases. This movement is known as akinesia or hypokinesia. Dopamine secrete in the dopamine fibers of the substantia nigra secreted dopamine in caudate and putamen is inhibitory transmitter. So, destruction of dopaminergic neuron allow caudate and putamen become hyperactive and possibly causes continuous output of excitatory signal to the corticospinal fibers. These excitatory fibers causes rigidity in the muscle. This signal could excite many or all muscles of the body, leading to the rigidity. Some of feedback circuitry might easily oscillate because of high feedback gain after loss of their inhibition, leading to the tremor. Involuntary movement causes tremors. Indirect pathway having inhibitory, dopamine is inhibited to the indirect pathway. So, indirect pathway excited causes unwanted movement. This unwanted movement is known as tremor. This tremor is quite different from the cerebellar disease because it occurs during all waking hours and therefore is an involuntary tremor. See, these are the features of Parkinson's patient, Parkinsonian patient. The patient folded on itself, having shuffling gait, having tremor, having stiffness. Due to stiffness is fold on itself. There is small steps of movement, having difficulty in initiation of movement. When you push this patient, it will walk for a little and having difficulty in stoppage of the movement. Okay. That's all about the disorders of the basal nuclei. Now come to the blood supply of the basal ganglia. Basal ganglia is very important structure as you see in this video. Its blood supply is also important. Any hamper in the blood supply causes destructive disorders in the basal ganglia. And the artery we described in internal capsule is also supplying the basal ganglia. Here is the anterior cerebral artery. The branches of anterior cerebral artery is known as medial striate artery. It is supplying the putamen and head of the nucleus and nucleus accumbens. This is the middle cerebral artery. It is known as the branches of middle cerebral artery is known as lenticulostriate branch because it supplies lenticular nucleus and also the caudate nucleus. See, this putamen and globus pallidus and to the caudate nucleus. Third one is the internal carotid artery. The branch of internal carotid artery is known as anterior choroidal branch. It is supplying the posterior part of the putamen, globus pallidus and globus pallidus, okay, and tail of the caudate nucleus. Anterior choroidal artery, branches of internal carotid artery. The some branch from the posterior cerebral artery supplying the thalamus and also to the internal also to the basal ganglia. Okay, there are basically three arteries which supplying the basal ganglia, that is medial striate artery, branches of anterior cerebral artery, lenticulostriate branch of middle cerebral artery and anterior choroidal branch of the internal carotid artery. Okay, thank you and best of luck.